Hey, yo, hey, it is Friday. It's Friday. It's your day. It's Friday. It's your day. Today, a king was born. What'd you say? Today, a king was born. My grandson is 1 year old today. Yes, 1 year old today. And I'm super excited for being a first time grandmother by blood, but I'm a love grandmother by marriage. But my own grandson, I'm a first time grandmother from my first. My first is 32. So we're going to Chuck E. Cheese today. Nothing big, nothing expensive, nothing just doing something that's kind of hot. I'm coming to y'all late this afternoon. I went to lunch with some coworkers, and I'm here now getting ready to get situated for this afternoon for my grandson. But listen, I was talking with a very close friend today, and we were talking about family trauma. I know all over YouTube it's been trauma. Seems like everywhere I'm going in whatever social circle I'm in, everybody's talking about trauma. So I don't want to harp on trauma, but I do want to recognize generational trauma. So I can only speak about generational trauma because being someone that has went into therapy to understand who I was. What I didn't go into therapy a time to where I had to deal with it, right? So after acknowledging that, yes, I need to handle some things within me and I need to talk to someone, I went and I seek therapy. So in that therapy sessions, my therapist used to ask me different questions and stuff and talk about whatever hurt and pain I thought I felt as a little girl growing up. She told me to journal it down and then write letters to those people that offended me. And I could do one of two things. I could give them the letter, or I can read the letter out loud, burn it, and release it, because the words will have come out then. And she said, sometimes in life, people harbor so much on hurt and pain about someone else that they don't even realize. One, the person does not know what they did to you. And 9 times out of 10, the person don't care. So you harboring all of this hurt and pain inside of you and not releasing it, it doesn't do anything for them and it doesn't do anything for you. So you just have to accept that things are the way they are and work yourself through that process. So in the midst of generational trauma, to me, I accepted my mother and the things of how she raised me. My mom was an older mom. She was 38 years old. She had a child. I'm the baby of 7 children. I have nephews my age because she was pregnant along with her daughters. My mother is a sibling of 15 children that my grandmother birthed and 3 that my grandmother married into. So pretty much all my grandmother's life, she was a mother and their father was a provider. So being of a big family in such a magnitude of children, I call them magnitudes, because there was a lot of children in. They were steps. There were sets, groups, sets, and steps of children. And my mother was a twin. My mother was a provider and not a nurturer. Okay, let me say that again. My mother was a provider and not a nurturer. Let me give you an example. All my life, for 50 years, I've stayed in one house with my mom. That's all I've known as our family home for 50 years. My mother knew she had to provide for her children, keep a roof over their head, give them food, give them the sense of understanding what education is. Because again, my mom finished her high school diploma when she was 45 years old. My mom got her diploma. She worked hard for it too. But the generational curse here is that I broke the curse because I did not just want to be a provider for my children. Now I got the big executive jobs and senior director jobs, and I knew how to provide for my family, but I needed to break the curse to become a nurturer. Now it was very hard. I didn't know how to accept hugs. I didn't know how to let someone tell me that they love me. I didn't know how to let someone be affectionate towards me, because I always cut them off. Like, oh, don't tell me that I'm pretty. Oh, don't tell me that I got a beautiful smile. Don't tell me I have beautiful skin, because I didn't know how to receive it. See, my reception of things from people, I didn't know how to receive it. I in turn gave it, but I didn't understand why was I giving it? Was I giving it because it was something that I was supposed to do? Am I doing something that I'm supposed to be doing? Or is it something that was genuine from me? So I learned that over the years that I didn't want to be that way with my daughter or any of my children. And I don't know. Okay, something's going on here. Let me come back. So something is going where it's giving me short videos to keep recording, but I'm going to come back. So, hey, y'all, I'm back again. But what I was saying is that I broke that with my daughter. I am very nurturing with my daughter outside of being a provider. We grew up together. I was 18 years old, going on 19 when I had my daughter. I searched the world, going through college and getting myself together. And then when my daughter finally said, hey, listen, it's time for you to settle down. I don't want to be your grandma no more. I want to come be with you. And I said, all right. At that point, we said when she was old enough, because she was attached to my mom, and I didn't want to break their bond. So I allowed her to stay with her grandmother, and I went out and I sowed my seeds in the world. But we agreed when she was old enough to come and say she wanted to be with me, there was going to be no animosity, no fighting, no arguing. She was coming to be with me, and that's what happened. So we grew up together. We went through the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the hurt, the cries, the anger. We went through all of that together. But what I did not lose was the nurturing piece of her. We talked about her feelings. We talked about her emotions. I helped her understand and process anger. I hugged her. I kissed her. Still to this day, that girl give me a 5-second kiss on her cheek. I'd be like, I just want to kiss you. 5 seconds, Linda. That's what she said. So I had to put my lips there for 5 seconds. But, you know, and she's very touchy-feely with me. We touchy-feely with each other. My daughter, Ty, she's the same way. We're touchy-feely with each other. My boys are affectionate to a certain degree, but as they got, when they were younger, they were more affectionate with me. Touchy-feely, let me kiss them and stuff. But as they got older, I guess the manness in them came out. They didn't want it. But I still, now with my boys, still hug me. We still, especially my last two boys, we still hug, we still kiss. They still come every night. They may not say good night to daddy, but they say good night to mommy. You hear me? So the generational curse I broke was I wanted to be a nurturer before I was a provider. See, you have to understand that. Some parents are providers before they're being a parent. I flipped mine. I'm a parent first, and then I'm a provider. So if you want to just do anything and soul searching and stuff, just get in your own mind and accept that there's some things that have went on. There's a lot of hurt that has went on in your life, and you're hurting. And until you admit that hurt to yourself, nobody knows and nobody cares. So it starts with you, and it's hard. It's hard sometimes seeing you in that mirror. Trust me, I know. Because, baby, I've been put in front of that mirror many a times, and I had to accept who that person was. And every time I accepted who that person was in that mirror, I learned to love me more. So listen, go out today. Tell someone that you love them. Be who you are supposed to be in life. And that's how you can only be what you are. Okay, so you have to have people understand you got to meet me where I'm at. In order for me to get to where you want me to be, you need to come to me and understand where I'm coming from and help me walk that journey. And it's a hard journey. Sometimes just admitting the hurt and the pain is hard to just speak out of your mouth, but you have to. I'm not gonna sit here and quote no Bible verses to you and all that kind of stuff. I'm just telling you to be honest with yourself. It starts with you. It always starts with you and it ends with you. Okay? So that's my Friday nugget on trauma. Just accepting it. Accepting something has happened throughout my life. I need to process what happened throughout my life so that I can move on with my life and do something different with my life and finally release it. Let them potatoes out the bag. Y'all be so stuck on holding on to that trauma. Let them potatoes out their bag. You know something my grandma told me? I'm finna get ready to go. My grandmama told me, she said, I'm 86 years old and I ain't never wore a wrinkle in my face worried about somebody else out there in the world. Ha! Did you hear what I said? She said she ain't never wore a wrinkle in her face worried about somebody else out there in the world. You understand me? And that's what you got to do. Let them potatoes go. Okay? So as always, I end with you. You could be easy. You could be greasy. But whatever you do, just be you. Go out and tell somebody that you love them, because I just told you I love you. I do. Later.